In the automation section, we can make very important basic configurations which apply to all Sentinel actions. First of all, this tick here. If it is not active, then Sentinel will not trade by itself, but only signals will be generated. I can say here whether I want to trade long and short, only long or only short signals. Max spread in ticks. Sentinel constantly checks what the current spread is in the market. Use sand. If the spread is greater than what is set here, then no position is placed in the market. In the NASDAQ, it is therefore advisable to take a slightly larger value here, as we like to have jumps here. In the SP or Dow Jones, one should suffice. Max chart lag time. Sentinel also constantly monitors, as you can see from this orange number in the top right corner, the chart lag time, i.e. the offset between your local time, your chart, and the time, which is specified via the data feed. So every order has a timestamp, and the time offset is measured. So if, for example, you are online with a bad broker or a bad internet connection, then this chart leg will be too big, and you will get a worse execution. You can therefore set a maximum value here. You will also receive an error message if this is the case. Max positions means that you can set the maximum number of contracts you want to be in the market with. Max risk per trade, also in the account currency. In other words, depending on how your strategy is configured here, you can say, I only want to enter into trades that have a maximum risk of 500, for example. Here is the tech range type. This is actually whether you want to evaluate in ticks or percent, i.e. in ticks or in percent. We have also integrated our news filters here. We have our own news indicator, which you can see here at the top in this little symbol. If there is news, you can see it here at the top left in a window. Currently, there is no, and they are also shown as lines in the chart. If I now set this news filter to on, then I can say that this time before news and this time after news should not be traded, i.e. no new positions should be open. If I even set this to close open position, then if I have an open position and I am, for example, 1 minute before the news, this position will also be closed. Additionally, I can set country filters, i.e. only US events, only US and EU events or all events, and priority, only high or also high, and medium. So which news should be considered here? If we want to do the whole thing in the back test, we can also load historical news files with an extra add-on. We will talk about this in a separate video. 2001. I can also display these markers for this news. Here, show news marker, and also configure here how this should be displayed. I switch this off again here. Next, I have entry-level settings, entry order level type. Here I can also tell myself again whether the bar or the swing high-low should still be used. This is intended more for manual trading and is rather irrelevant for automation. I can set myself a virtual order type. Namely, I can activate a limit pullback order here and trade with it. What exactly a limit pullback order is, we will make an extra video about this. For those of you who are already a little more familiar with the matter, it is clear how it works and how to work with it. This is also a very exciting feature to work with. The order type, the real order type, is exactly how we want to place our orders here. For example, we are currently working with a sell stop. Order, i.e. stop market, SMKT, stop market, is meant here. And that is simple. If the condition is met, we place a stop order below it. But I can also execute a market order, i.e. as soon as the condition is met and the bar closes, I immediately enter the market. But I can also place an order with an order, i.e. market if touch. This is somewhat comparable to a limit order, except that it is not in the order book and is executed as a market order. This means that, as an example, I have this negative bar here, have selected the bar POG as the signal position. Then a met order would now be placed on the POG, and as soon as it is traded, it is executed as a market. And I go short. This is what this function is for. And then we also have a stop market OCO order, means that we can also work here as an OCO order, cancel order. We have always set the stop order offset to 1 by default, so means that we always add a tick. Another feature that we are very proud of is our stealth mode. When I activate it, human behavior is imitated, This means that the orders that are placed are given a delay, which is chosen almost randomly between the MIN value and the max value. This is useful for some applications, with some brokers. So we are imitating human behavior here. This means that when the order is placed here, and we go into trailing, for example, then the trailing is only executed after a corresponding offset, just as a human would do. So much for the area of automation, and we'll see you again in another video.